Watch this video to learn how to play Fiesta Espana from Piano Adventures Level 3B lesson book. We're in Piano Adventures Level 3B lesson book, and today we are looking at a piece in here called Fiesta Espana. Fiesta Espana is on pages 10 and 11 of this book. Before we begin, let's look at a couple of definitions that are at the top of the page for a motive and a sequence. A motive is a short musical pattern, and a sequence is a musical pattern that's repeated on another pitch. It might be higher or lower than the original motive. The motive here is this first measure. I'm going to play the motive for you so that you can hear it. So that is the motive, just one measure. Now, a sequence is where we move that motive. So I'm going to move it down here. And then down here. And you can hear that it's repeating the same rhythm and the same sequence of notes. We just move down one pitch. Move down another. So that's how a sequence can be used to expand a piece of music. Now, this motive uses syncopation, which means notes that are accented between the beats. So if you listen, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that accented note that comes on the and is what makes it syncopated. So those are the basics that we need to know before we begin. Let's take a look at the piece before we begin. It tells us that we are in the key of A minor. A minor is related to C major. They are related because they both have all white keys. So there are no accidentals in our key signature. However, you will see accidentals throughout the song, like this one that shows up in measure 4. Next, let's take a look at the time signature. We are in 4/4 time, so that means a quarter note is going to get a beat, and we're going to have 4 beats per measure. And next, let's look at the tempo markings. The tempo marking is allegro. This is a pretty speedy song. It says that we should be playing a quarter note between 160 and 176 beats a minute. The structure of the song, we play the first 4 measures, and then we repeat the first 4 measures. We play measures 5 all the way to the end at that point. So the only thing in this piece that repeats will be the very beginning. So let's start by learning that very beginning. I already played it for you when we were talking about the motif and the sequence. So let's go ahead and put our hands in A minor position. This is middle C right here. So our left hand is around it. Our right hand is an octave above. And let's learn how to play this motive before we begin. So it's in your left hand, you hit the A. In your right hand, it's an A minor chord. Then E, A. Now, it is syncopated, so we have to really count. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And you'll notice that this A holds down, but then we go to staccato. Try it with me. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Great. Now, one other thing I want to point out is that we are digging deep into that first chord. It's accented, so you should be dropping into it heavy. One more time on just the first measure. 1, 2, and here we go. 1 and 2 going to move your hand down and play it here. Move down again. And then we go to E, but we just play an E major chord, and then we go down an octave with our left hand. Try that whole part with me. 1, 2, first 4 measures, and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and down 1, 3 and 4 down. E major chord. Good. Let's add in the pedal. So the pedal is just for the first 2 beats. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down. Up, down, up, down. Good. If you need to work on that anymore, you can. I'm going to go ahead and move on to measure 5. In measure 5, we drop down quite a bit in dynamic from forte, actually scherzando with the note before, down to mezzo piano. Your left hand 4 finger is going to be on F, and get ready to stretch your thumb to C. And we play this little chord or a scale in the right hand where we go from F to C and all the way back to G. And then we're going to hit B, and our left hand plays B, 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 E, B, E, B. Try that with me. 1, 2, measure 5, and go. Mezzo piano, crescendo, diminuendo, piano. And there is a pedal on that second measure. Then we start it again. Now triplet and 2 crosses over. Then we go back to the first way. Now we play F, F, G, A, C, F, up another octave. And we're going to worry about what comes next in a moment. So we're playing measure 5 to the end of the page. 1, 2, here we go. Pedal, up, triplet, cross pedal, up, pedal, up, down. And it's getting a little louder each time. Good. If you need to work on that, you can. We are going to move on to the next section, and I'm going to move my camera. Okay, so we are at the top of page 2 in measure 13. I'm going to start by looking at just what happens in the right hand here. So this is A. This is middle C here, so we are about an octave and a half above middle C. We go A, B, C, D, and now we're going to start descending kind of like we did in the last song, but we're going to be using 4 notes at a time now. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4th finger comes down a note each time now. And that's where it stops. So we're going from 1 E at the top when we start this pattern down to E an octave below. So let's try the right hand together starting in measure 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Ti, ti, ta, ta. Ti, 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 ti. Good. And you'll notice there are accents on the top beat of every time you're climbing down. The left hand part here starts with just F and A. It moves to B and E. And then when you get to A with your right hand, your left hand starts going down too. And you always need to move your thumb closer. And you probably can't see the A right off the screen, so I'm going to move my camera just a little bit. Okay, let's try playing this whole section together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Get ready for both hands on A. Good. The next step is for us to layer in the pedal. So I'm going to sit back down and we're going to do this again with the pedal. We're going to start with the pedal down. 1, 2, 3, same place. 1. Now up, down, and off. Great, now we're going to come into the ending, and it starts out the same way that the beginning began, but our left hand's going to be an octave lower. So I am on measure 18. Let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and my bottom finger here is on E at the very bottom of the piano. It's probably off screen, but that's the note that's there. Then you're going to come back to A, and now your right hand is down lower by an octave. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And once again, I'm stretching for that E. Let's try from measure 18 to measure 25 together. So that's what we just played. We start with our left hand down an octave and a half below middle C, and our right hand's on the A just above middle C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now come down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, we're coming into the very ending now. So your right hand's going to move a 2 to E here. And then it comes up on an octave. Left hand moves up one note and you pedal up, down. Right hand goes up an octave again. Pedal up. And you're slowing down and ending very loud. Let's try that ending together. So we start here on E. Move up an octave. Left hand up one note, up an octave. Start slowing down, pedal up. E major chord. E at the bottom. Now you know everything you need to know to master Fiesta Espana. To reach mastery for Fiesta Espana, we will practice it 5 to 10 minutes a day. At first, I would like you to practice it in sections until you feel you've achieved mastery of the individual sections. Then group it by one page at a time. And finally, after you've achieved mastery of that, you should play it all the way through as an entire song. When we use mastery as a guide to progress our practice, it's important to think about what mastery means. Mastery means a lot more than being able to play the notes. Mastery has a feeling. It feels like consistency, accuracy, precision, ease, and comfort. If you are still reaching mastery, you might want to focus on one of these following checkpoint areas: notes, rhythms, dynamics, phrasing, and tempos. If you have a part of that list that is not at par where you'd like it to be, then focus in on it during your practice to get it there. Good luck mastering Fiesta Espana this week.